Hi, I'm Greta.
And I'm Claudia, and welcome to Knitters and Critters, where we bring you the latest in Critical Role news and, of course, our knitting projects.
I'm so excited for this, Claudia. I've been looking forward to it all week. But before we dive in, should we tell the people who we are?
Let's tell the people. I'm Claudia. I am a knitting addict, a chocolate connoisseur, and mother to two hairy teenage boys. And I started watching Critical Role a couple of years ago, and I've been hooked ever since.
Hi, I'm Greta Kelly. I'm the author of The Frozen Crown. I'm the mom to two tiny little gremlin girls, and I'm also a new knitter, but I'm a diehard critter, and I can't wait to talk to you more about the show Critical Role.
The long-awaited third campaign of Critical Role started a few weeks ago. For the uninitiated, Critical Role is a show where a bunch of self-described, nerdy-ass voice actors get together to roll some dice and play Dungeons & Dragons. What started in 2012 as a simple home game, just a group of friends having fun and rolling dice, is now a virtual empire with millions of devoted fans and a show coming next year on Amazon.
Which I cannot wait for. It's going to be great. Well, should we talk about the first episode?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. Well, as you know, the challenge of starting any Dungeons & Dragons game is getting all of your characters into the same place at the same time. DM Matt Mercer kind of sidesteps this challenge by introducing all the characters in like small clumps of 2 and 3. To that end, the show kicks off with Imogen, a human sorcerer played by Laura Bailey, and Loudna, a warlock played by Marisha Ray, by far one of our favorite characters on the show. Imogen and Loudna are thoroughly dejected. They've just been denied entrance into one of the city's many magic schools and are heading to the marketplace to regroup. Meanwhile, Ashton, an Earth Genasi barbarian played by Taliesin Jaffe, and Fresh Cut Grass, an automaton cleric played by the ever-hilarious Sam Riegel, are headed to the Spire by Fire Tavern looking for work. Yes, you heard me right. Sam's new character is called Fresh Cut Grass. He explains the name in the latter half of the first episode with a one-liner that had the entire cast and myself bursting out laughing.
It was so funny.
It was absolutely
Kudos
hysterical.
to him and Liam O'Brien for coming up with that character.
Yeah. They are just gold together, and they're such an odd couple, too.
Yeah.
It's so charming seeing them together. But one of the big surprises of the night came when 3 characters from the cast of Exandria Unlimited joined the show. Arriving by airship, Orem, a halfling fighter played by Liam O'Brien, has been sent by the leader of his people to hunt down a mysterious figure known only as the Anger. Orem is bringing 2 of his companions with him, Fern, a fawn druid played by Ashley Johnson, and Dorian, an Air Genasi bard played by new cast member Robbie Damon. I don't know about you, but I'm so excited that Robbie is joining the cast.
Me too. He was great in Exandria Unlimited, and I'm very happy that he is now a cast member of Season 3. And I am looking forward and consider this a call out to have Orem's mom, Opal, join this season. Maybe just one episode.
We just need a little Nancy in our lives.
A little Nancy and Opal. That'd be great.
Well, fans of the show barely have time to marvel at the cast of Exandria Unlimited joining the game before an arcane explosion rocks the marketplace. A cart overturns, and its spilled contents, the cast-off remnants of someone's kitchen remodel, it seems like, rise magically from the streets to attack the populace. It sounds ridiculous, and it definitely is, but it's also what makes the show so wonderful to watch. It's completely unscripted, often completely chaotic as well, but that's what makes it so charming. These veteran voice actors really bring just decades of improv experience to bear, and they turn something as ridiculous as a fight against magically cursed housewares into this edge of your seat battle for supremacy that you just have to watch. It's just wonderful. And really, what brings a group of strangers together faster than having to battle a murderous area rug? I mean, that's how we became friends, right, Claudia? Not only does the party form a new and tentative alliance, but a new cast member also appears. Longtime fans of the show will recognize Sir Bertram Bell, a human fighter played by Travis Willingham from way back in Campaign 1. The now elderly Bell is so impressed by the crew's fighting skills that he has a proposition for them. One of Bell's acquaintances, Lord Eshtaros, is looking for a new group of adventurers to work with him. Would the team care to meet him? Although Belle doesn't give the most like genuine first impressions by far. There's definitely something up with him. Yeah. The chance of meeting and like getting in good with a lord of the city really is too good of an opportunity for the cast to pass up. After all, a good word from Lord Estros might be enough for Imogen and Laudna to get into that school that they've been looking for. And a well-connected lord might also know where Orem and his friends can find this mysterious anger person. And realistically, nothing says money like a title, which is all that Ashton and FCG are after right now. They decide to regroup the next day to meet with Lord Estros, but things immediately take a turn when they enter a house that wouldn't be out of place in a gothic horror novel. And the cherry on top of the cake is that Lord Estros is clearly pissed with Belle and not happy to see him at all. But he's willing to give them a chance, as long as they prove themselves. Well, Lord Estros will give them that chance. The episode wraps with the frail-looking Lord Estros lunging in for attack, proving once and for all that appearances on Critical Role are never what they seem. What were some highlights for you of this episode, Claudia?
I would say definitely Laudna. Now, Laudna is this character played by Marisha Ray, and completely different from any character she's played before.
Oh, far.
Yeah, and the difference between what she looks like and how people react to her and her demeanor are hilarious. Yeah. And I really think that Marisha has hit the sweet spot with Laudna. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on with her, maybe things that we'll call back to season one.
Yeah. There have been some spoilery things happening in recent episodes.
I agree.
Can't wait.
I know. I love seeing all the theories out there. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if you have a theory of your own or...
Yes, please comment below. Tag us.
Definitely.
We love all that stuff.
Yeah, we love, like, trying to figure stuff out, and I always get it wrong. So I like to see when people get it right. So
I have to say, I also really love Fern. I think Ashley Johnson was also born to play that little chaos gremlin.
She really is. Like, everything here is, you know, precious and priceless. What will she steal?
Yeah, what is she going to steal next?
Yeah. So definitely Laudna and Fern. Mm-hmm. And seeing the people from Exandria Unlimited. I mean, that was such a good short series, and I loved everybody on it. Also, you know, Amy Carrero, who played Orem's mom, Nancy.
Opal, a.k.a. Nancy.
Yes. No,
I am looking for...
Orem is Nancy.
Oh, wait, Nancy's mom.
Opal is the mom.
Gosh.
Yeah, sorry, we might have to cut that out. So Exandria Unlimited, I loved it. It was a short series, and it's nice to see 3 of the characters now be part of this 3rd season.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of fun. Definitely fresh cut grass, and the origin of his name is one of the highlights of episode 1.
I also have to say I'm enjoying Orem, who's played by Liam O'Brien, not necessarily because at the moment he's like super interesting, but it's nice for Liam to play a character that you don't need to take antidepressants after watching an episode.
Seriously. Every character.
Such a Debbie Downer in like a really wonderful, like human way. Not cutting awesome. Liam O'Brien. He's wonderful, but Orem is a nice change of pace.
Yeah,
for him,
it is. Very athletic.
Yes.
So definitely some of the highlights there.
Well, why don't we switch tracks a little bit and talk about some knitting? What are your needles these days?
So, a couple of things that I'm working on, because I have this attention span of a gnat. So I have like 7 or 8 things I'm working on. This is the 5th sweater that I am making for my husband, Steve. And so we call it Steve Sweater 5.0. And this pattern is called Donegal by Moira Engel.
Okay.
And I like it so much because it has so many interesting design elements that it's the 2nd time I'm making this. The beautiful. First time was when Steve wanted a sort of copy of the sweater that Arthur Curry wears in Aquaman for 3 seconds. And I had to go find behind the scenes pictures and do all this long research on Jason Momoa.
That must have been awful for you.
The things I do for love.
You know, if you had needed help, I would have volunteered my time.
For me. So I found some good pictures of the sweater, actually, and I used this pattern sort of to do the shaping and the shawl collar, which I'd never done a shawl collar before. And then change the cable patterns to sort of match the sweater a little bit more, and he was very happy with that. Something else that is really handy right now, because the temperatures have dropped here in Wisconsin, I am making this hat, and this beautiful yarn is by my fellow Peruvian, Daniela from Odd Knots and Threads. And she had this collection that was based on the 7 wonders of the world. And this one is based on Machu Picchu, where all Peruvians live. You all know that.
Yes, we learned anything from Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we all ride our llamas both ways up to Machu Picchu every day to go to school, speaking Peruvian. And what I tend to do is, when I have a pattern that's, has a lot of texture, a lot of design elements, I like to go with a very plain yarn. So you can see the design elements, so you can, you're not distracted. Whereas where I have a yarn that's variegated, has a lot of colors, or maybe has a tweed kind of texture, I like to go for a very plain piece. Yeah, so this is basically just a little stockinette hat that I'm going to wear soon, hopefully. But we shall see, because like I said, 7 other...
Attention span.
Yeah,
that's difficult.
There's issues with those. I know you have your handfuls with your adorable girls.
Yes.
But are you working on anything?
I am, finally. It's been about 2 years since I've worked on anything, because that's how close together my kids are. So I decided I wanted to come back to knitting now that things are kind of calming down and settling on the home front. And I decided, why not work on a baby blanket? Lorelei, my oldest, when she was born, we got like 12 million baby blankets for her. And poor Nadia, my youngest, being, classic second child, she got nothing new. So I thought, what the hell, why don't I just try to make something for her? So I am working on the Boulevard blanket by 5410 Studios.
So squishy.
Yeah, and I'm using this really wonderful yarn that I picked up off of Knit Picks. It's called Fable Fur, and it's in the really fun, like, candy pink sort of color. It's beautiful. I guess my only hiccup with it, and this is totally on me, just not knowing anything about knitting, is that it's so furry that you kind of lose the detail on the blanket a little bit.
I don't think Nadia's gonna mind. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
So either. It's so soft. I can't. I've been talking to my husband. Should I make it a skirt instead of a baby blanket and just buy something for Nadia? Yeah, just for me. No. Just kidding, Nadia. You'll still get your Christmas present. It's okay. But it is so scrunchy. She's gonna love digging her little baby fingers in there. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm working on now. I'd love to make a blanket for myself next. My office gets so cold in the winter, and if Wisconsin does anything well, it is cold fucking winters. Yes. So I want to make a blanket for myself, maybe even something like Critical Role themed.
Ooh.
So if y'all in the audience have any suggestions, please write something in the comments below or tag us on social media, and I'll be sure to check it out.
Definitely.
So, Claudia, do you have any projects you're looking forward to?
I am. Like I said, I have so many works in progress. But I did finish my campside drop sleeve,
so beautiful
pullover, which I love.
Ice blue. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. And Alicia Plummer is one of my favorite designers. All her patterns are beautifully written, so easy to follow, and she just has such a kind nature about her that
that's beautiful.
That kind of translates to her patterns. They're not difficult. You're not gonna find yourself tearing your hair out. So I'm very happy with this. This is my latest finished object, and I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for tuning in and watching us today here on Knitters and Critters. We'll leave links to everything down below, as well as where you can find us on social media. But please, please, please come back next week to find out what happens on episode 2 of Campaign 3 and to check up on what we're doing next. Bye.
Bye.